Alright, here are the 10 cards we were able to create with this month's club kits. Starting off with the better press of the month. I went ahead and better pressed that image on some of the pebble cotton card panels, and I did that in the better press Thunder ink, which is this nice kind of neutral gray color. Then I brought in some other gray cardstock that I had in my stash, and then I stamped the sentiment from the Tailored Expressions Care and Comfort set. This is a really nice set that has a bunch of sympathy sentiments in it. So that completed that card. I did go ahead and pop this panel up on some fun foam so it's got a little bit of dimension. And then I brought in some sequins from my stash. These are from Studio Katia, and they are in the golden copper color. And just kind of smattered those around, and then I added a little red clay heart. And of course I used some Love from Lizzie peel-offs to delineate between the two different cardstocks there. And there. Okay, for card number 2, it's a very similar card. I brought in the same, this is a cotton white, the porcelain white rather, cotton panel. And I used that Thunder ink again, and just, you can tell it's a little bit more saturated. I guess because the gray kind of washes it out a little bit. But popped that up on some fun foam, and again used that same sympathy sentiment stamp set from Tailored Expression. This is the Care and Comfort 2, and some more of those sequins from Studio Katia. And then of course I brought in an enamel heart. Those were from Doodlebug. And that is card number 2. For card number 3, I wanted to bring in the small die of the month. With this, I also brought in some pattern paper from my stash. This is, of course, this is the pattern paper I used in this month's kit. Tried to just stick with one so I don't get overwhelmed with too many options and too many colors, which I think kind of helps. So maybe I'll do that in the future. But this is the Honeybee Stamps Playful Pastels. And as you can see, it's got a lot of nice patterns for Easter and spring, just kind of a very soft color palette. So here in the background I used some of that paper. This of course is the small die of the month. I popped one of those boots up on some fun foam, and then some of the flowers are also popped up. And then I brought in the stamp of the month to stamp out the sentiment down there. And then these are some more gems that I have in my stash. This is the Buttercream gems from Pretty Pink Posh. I also used those on my next card, which is again from the small die of the month. This time I brought in my rectangles. These are the postage edge rectangles from Spellbinders. They kind of make a nice little pattern there. I mounted the boot again on some fun foam, so it's got some dimension, and I also mounted some of the flowers on some fun foam, so they've got a little bit of dimension. And then again, this is the stamp of the month, is where the sentiment comes from. And those are both stamped out in this Distress Oxide and Scorched Timber. It's a really nice dark brown, kind of a nice neutral when you don't want to use black. And then again, I used some more of those Buttercream gems. And there is card number 4. Alright, for card number 5, I went ahead and brought in the large die of the month, as well as the embossing folder of the month, and the stamp of the month. This is, of course, the little Easter rabbit. And I just colored him. I cut him out of some gray cardstock that I had in my stash, and then colored him with some Copic markers, just to give him a little bit of interest. And then I cut out a bunch of carrots in the orange, purple, and kind of a cream color. I've seen those in the grocery store, though I don't think I've ever eaten them. Maybe I should try them, but in any case, a relatively simple card. So this is some more of that pattern paper from that Honeybee Stamps pack in the Playful Pastels. This, of course, is a Love from Lizzie peel-off, and then I stamped the sentiment and heat embossed it in gold. This is antique gold from Simon Says Stamp on some of the cream cardstock that I used for the carrots. And then I popped that up on some fun foam, and of course the basket is popped up on some fun foam, so there's a little bit of dimension there. And there you have card number 5. For card number 6, I brought in the Essential Arches from Spellbinders. This is a nice set. It creates this nice arch, which went nicely with the stamp of the month. I just heat embossed that stamp with some antique gold, and then brought in some pattern paper from Honeybee, and I also used the Glimmer of the Month. I really like this sentiment from the Glimmer of the Month, and so a very simple card. The arch, the outside rather, has been popped up on some fun foam, so this is kind of offset in the background. And then, of course, this sentiment has some fun foam as well, so it's got some dimension. And then I brought in some more gems from my stash. These are kind of a pretty opal color that just kind of pick up the colors that are around them. And there you have card number 6. For card number 7, I brought in the Glimmer of the Month. This pattern paper back here is kind of an ombre yellow color, which I thought looked really nice, like the buttercups, or the daffodils rather. The daffodils are glimmered with some aurora foil, and so is this Easter, sending Easter blessings. That was also from the Glimmer of the Month, and just kind of put some gems around that, mounted it on some fun foam, and mounted it on some pattern paper. And there you have card number 7. So that one was kind of an easy card, not a whole lot going on there. For card number 8, I brought in the embossing, the 3D embossing folder of the month, and then the stamp set of the month. This is a cross that I had in my stash. This is from Tailored Expressions. This is called At the Cross. So it's got 2 pieces to it. So one is the base piece and then this top piece that cuts out a little pattern. And then I also brought in my Essential Arches again, and the Make-A-Wish arch labels, which cut out that this craft arch back here. I initially just had these 2 arches, but I felt like there was too much pink showing through, so I just kind of wanted to cover that up just a little bit. So there you have card number 8. And then of course I brought in some more of those Milky Whites. I don't have the name on these. I think they're from Pretty Pink Posh, but they're just kind of a pretty like cream kind of opal color. It just kind of picks up all the colors around it. And then I wanted to bring in the stencil of the month. And so I kind of thought this looked a little bit like stained glass. I wish the yellow wasn't as bright. I don't have like a huge stash of yellow ink in my stash, so I had to go with what I had. And I think this is the Sunbeam color from Simon Says Stamp. And then this cross is also a cross that I have in my my stash rather, from the Redeemer from Tailored Expressions, and it's got 2 pieces. Sorry, so I cut the cross out using just some kind of neutrals. I wanted to keep it kind of subdued looking, and then of course I used the Glimmer of the Month sentiment and sprinkled out some of those gems. These are the same gems. Actually, these are the Aurora gems. They have a nice little purple hue to them. These are the Spectrum AB gems from Spellbinders. You see they kind of have like a little bit of a purple hue. So I used those on this card and just wanted to keep that one kind of simple since the colors were so bright. So there you have card number 9. And then lastly, I brought in the stitching of the month and the Glimmer of the Month, and just kind of cut out these frames. I got cat hair stuck in it, of course. cut out the frames and stitch them. I wanted to use my stitching dies this month and try to start to use that club kit a little bit more like it's intended to be used, just so I can get the full enjoyment of it. But there you have a relatively simple card. Just all the stitching took some time. And then of course you've got the glimmer of the month. That is one of the sentiments. And I glimmered that in Aurora. And then of course I put these little gems on all of the little like flower pieces there. And there you have card number 10. So there are our 10 cards from this month's club kits of the month from Spellbinders. I hope that you guys enjoyed the creations that I made, and I hope that it gives you some inspiration if you need some, or just some ideas of what to do with the kit. And I look forward to the next video that we post. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I appreciate all of your support. And I will chat with you all later. Thanks so much. Talk at you soon.